Tonight, as you settle into the serene comforts of your evening, we invite you to journey through the myths of Isis, the guardian of life and magic. In the ancient land of Egypt, Isis weaves her enchanting spells, her boundless compassion guiding her as she strives to restore her beloved Osiris and nurture young Horus. With gentle heart and wondrous magic, she stands as a beacon of hope and healing. Let the soothing cadence of ancient tales cradle your thoughts. And now, let the tale unfold. In the calm glow of the setting sun, Isis, the serene figure positioned on the sandy banks of the Nile River, appears almost like an ethereal vision. The sun dips low in the sky, painting the world in hues of oranges, reds, and amber, and casting a golden sheen over the waters that mirror her thoughtful gaze. Known as the goddess of wisdom and magic, Isis stands as a beacon of compassion and fortitude in the ancient world. Her presence is central to Egyptian mythology, where her stories are woven through the fabric of time itself. As the goddess of wisdom, her past deeds illuminate her benevolent nature. Isis is famed for her extensive knowledge of spells, which she uses not just for her gain, but for the good of others. She healed the sick and offered protection to those in danger, weaving her magic to bring light to the darkest corners of existence. Her wisdom transcends the boundaries of the mortal realm, holding the secrets of life and death within her grasp. It is this wisdom that allows her to navigate the challenges that lie in her path, always with the goal of safeguarding those she loves. Her heart, generous and kind, often guides her actions. Stories abound of the compassion she has shown not only to mortals, but also to the gods themselves. One tale recounts how she restored life to the young god Horus when a venomous creature gravely injured him. Her tender care became legendary, a testament to her unyielding love and nurturing spirit. It is in these acts that her role as a protector becomes clear, one who is willing to face any adversity to shield her family and the natural world. Isis's inner need to restore harmony and balance is entwined with her outer goal to revive her beloved Osiris and protect her son Horus. This dual purpose drives her actions throughout the myths, linking her personal journey with her wider quest to maintain cosmic equilibrium. Her love for Osiris, known as the noble and sacrificed god of the afterlife, is profound and unwavering. Their union represents the harmonious blend of life and death, of love persisting beyond earthly bonds. Together, they epitomize the eternal cycle of renewal that life and death must follow. Horus, her son, is a symbol of the continuation of life and hope. Destined to become a future king and avenger of his father's unjust demise, Horus embodies the promise of new beginnings. Under Isis's watchful care, he grows into a brave young warrior, schooled in both the wisdom of his mother and the legacy of his father. Yet, the shadows of conflict threaten their peace. Set, the brother of Osiris and the embodiment of jealousy and destruction, stands as their adversary. The enmity between Isis and Set underscores much of the mythology surrounding her. Set's desire for power, born out of envy, manifests in a series of betrayals and upheavals in their world. Yet, through every trial, Isis's resilience shines through. Her storied life is a testament to the ideals of justice and restoration, themes that persistently surface in Egyptian myth. Her ability to transform, both literally and metaphorically, allows her to adapt and survive despite Set's treachery. As dusk deepens over the Nile, the ancient land of Egypt envelops the listener in its timeless embrace. The rhythmic flow of the river echoes stories whispered by the sands, each grain holding remnants of the past. The tranquil atmosphere, steeped in ancient wisdom, comforts even as it invites contemplation of the great mysteries that Isis, with all her magic and grace, continues to guard. Her story is one of transformation, of death and rebirth, of family ties that stretch beyond the horizon. Through the serene narrative of Isis gazing over the Nile, the foundations for her timeless saga are laid, a story that bridges the realms of gods and men, where the eternal themes of love, justice, and resilience find their bearer in this wise and determined goddess. The introduction of Isis has opened a path into the myths of ancient Egypt, setting the stage for the epic journey that is to unfold in the chapters ahead. Under the cloak of night, amidst shadows that dance to the flicker of firelight, a grand Egyptian feasting hall lay alive with music and revelry. A harmony of dark reds and shadowy blacks painted an intricate ambience, setting a scene that belied the treachery about to unfold. In the heart of this gathering sat Set, brother to Osiris, his mind simmering with envy and unquenchable ambition. Set's jealousy of Osiris's accomplishments and admiration from both gods and mortals alike had fermented deeply into a thirst for power, overshadowing his fraternity with darkness. Set, driven by his desire to usurp Osiris's place, began weaving an insidious plot. The feast was his stage, meticulously orchestrated to lull Osiris into a false sense of security. Set's plan was as clever as it was malicious. He fashioned a magnificent coffin, one crafted to the exact dimensions of Osiris's noble form. Its beauty was undeniable, enticing admiration from onlookers who knew not of the sinister intent it bore. With calculated charm, Set extended an invitation to Osiris, who arrived at the feast with the open heart of someone amongst beloved kin. Unbeknownst to him, Set had orchestrated an elaborate deception. The feast unfurled in grandiosity, each dish and cup meant to celebrate Osiris, but beneath the surface, shadows whispered of betrayal. Set, with cunning subtlety, proposed a playful game, suggesting that whoever could fit perfectly into the splendid coffin would win an exquisite prize. Unaware of the lurking danger, Osiris, noble and trusting, succumbed to curiosity and lay himself within the confines of the dazzling coffin. The hall watched in awe as the lid fit seamlessly. In that moment, the atmosphere shifted, the joviality tainted by an edge of chilling anticipation. With a swift, practiced motion, Set and his accomplices sealed the coffin, transforming the air of celebration into one of cold treachery. News of this dark betrayal soon reached Isis, and a profound silence enveloped her spirit. Shock and despair pulsed through her being, yet amid the turmoil, resolve took root. Isis, a paragon of wisdom and compassion, found her heart steeling against the cruel winds of fate. Her mission crystallized with clarity, to find and resurrect her beloved Osiris, to restore what Set had torn asunder. Determined, Isis resolved to transcend the bleakness of her grief, readying herself for the journey that lay ahead. Her heart held steadfast, a beacon of unwavering resolve amidst waves of tumultuous emotions. The lessons of the past echoed in her mind, her innate wisdom guiding her next steps. For now, the path was set for a different kind of journey, one of devotion and relentless pursuit amidst the sands of time. Through the halls where shadows had tangled with hope, a new refrain echoed in the whispers of the night as Isis's resolve turned toward action. She felt the pull of her destiny, ready to embark on the path that beckoned beyond the horizon, a journey not merely for her beloved Osiris, but for the balance and harmony of all that was threatened by her brother's treachery. Her determination smoldered quietly, fueling her vision of the restoration that must come to pass, one that would embolden her steps in the legends yet to unfold. With the betrayal fresh in her heart and determination guiding her every step, Isis embarked on her arduous journey to locate and recover Osiris's coffin. As a goddess known for her wisdom and compassionate nature, she was not deterred by the vast and unforgiving Egyptian landscape. Her resolve was driven by her profound love for Osiris and the need to restore him to life, ensuring that the balance of the world and the future of their son Horus would remain intact. The sun rose high in the sky, casting its bright golden light over the Nile and the endless stretches of desert sands as Isis began her sacred quest. Traveling along the banks of the mighty Nile River, Isis sought guidance from the natural world around her. The rhythm of the flowing water offered its silent counsel, while the breeze whispered secrets as it rustled through the reeds. With each step, she felt the presence of Osiris, sensing that his spirit was calling out to her from beyond the mortal realm. It was the land itself that seemed to share her yearning, offering subtle hints and omens that pointed the way forward. In these signs, she saw the unwavering bond of love that united her and Osiris, even when the forces of darkness sought to tear them apart. Realizing that the journey ahead was fraught with challenges, Isis called upon her sister, Nephthys, for assistance. Nephthys, steadfast and loyal, joined Isis without hesitation. Together, they were a formidable force, not just of magic and divine power, but of sisterhood and shared purpose. Their bond was forged in the fires of adversity, a testament to the enduring strength of family, even in the face of encroaching shadows. As they ventured forth into the heart of Egypt, the sisters drew upon each other's strength, bolstered by the love and loyalty that defined their relationship. Their path took them to various regions of Egypt, each bringing its unique challenges. From the dry, sun-drenched deserts to the fertile lands dotted with palm trees, Isis and Nephthys moved with purpose and grace. Their journey was not a hurried one. It required patience, as the land itself held both clues and mysteries. As the days stretched on, they learned to read the subtle language of the earth and sky. The movements of birds, the patterns of wind-blown sand, even the stars at night seemed to guide them on their way. Throughout their expedition, they encountered signs and symbols that served as omens of hope and guidance. At times, a hawk flew overhead, its silhouette a reminder of Horus and his eventual destiny. Other moments brought dreams and visions that ignited their spirits, offering glimpses of the path they must follow. These signs were both a comfort and a reminder of the task at hand. The quest was not merely about finding Osiris, but about preserving the cosmic order and their family's place within it. Isis's persistence and resilience shone brightly during this journey. It was a testament to her character that, no matter the obstacles, her resolve never wavered. She moved forward with grace and determination, her heart always aligned with her mission. Nephthys, ever supportive, stood by her side, reinforcing their shared strength. Together they personified unyielding determination and the deep reservoir of love that fueled their quest. Their shared commitment to Osiris and the future that Horus represented began to resonate with the earth itself, marking the landscape with their unwavering presence. In a profound moment of revelation, Isis finally discovered the location of Osiris's coffin. Guided by the divine instinct that only a heart tethered to love could provide, she uncovered the place where Set's treacherous trap had been hidden. This discovery, amid the shifting sands and sacred lands of Egypt, was not the end but a pivotal turning point in their journey. Her heart swelled with both relief and purpose, knowing that with Osiris's coffin in her grasp, the next phase of her sacred mission would begin. The path forward was clear, yet fraught with its own challenges. The discovery of the coffin had ignited a hope within her, a hope that carried with it the weight of possibility and resurgence. It signified not only the persistence of love and loyalty, but the impending trials that would require her full might and magic. With Osiris's resting place found, Isis prepared for the next step, the sacred rites necessary to restore her beloved to life. As the moon cast its serene glow over the vast deserts of Egypt, Isis stood before the ornate coffin she had so tirelessly sought. It was a moment laden with a mixture of grief and hope. Her heart ached as she placed her hand gently on the sarcophagus, mourning the loss of her beloved Osiris. Yet within her surged a profound determination. for she knew that within the ancient rituals lay the power to revive him, even if only briefly. She was aware that this task would demand all her strength and magic, but her resolve was unwavering. Within the hallowed walls of an ancient temple, Isis began the sacred preparations for the ritual of resurrection. The air shimmered with an aura of sanctity as she adorned the temple with symbols of life and protection. Ancient scrolls rich with esoteric knowledge were carefully unfurled, their hieroglyphs aglow in the flickering light of the torches. Each step she took was imbued with reverence, every gesture steeped in ancient tradition. She drew upon her wisdom, a wellspring of spells passed down through generations. This night, every ounce of her magical prowess would be needed. With deep blue hues enveloping the temple, Isis began to invoke the power of the ancient spells and chants. Her voice, gentle yet firm, resonated through the halls, invoking the words that were as old as creation itself. The rhythmic cadence of her chants interwove with the crackling firelight, creating a symphony of mystical energy. Her eyes shone with a purpose beyond words, each chant connecting her deeper to the cosmic forces she summoned. The walls of the temple seemed to hum in resonance, embracing the magic that sought to bridge life and death. In a moment of unparalleled wonder, Osiris was brought back to life. As his form emerged from the ethereal veil between worlds, Isis's heart surged with a profound mixture of joy and sorrow. Osiris, noble and dignified, stood before her, though the luminescent aura that enveloped him signaled the ephemeral nature of his revival. Their eyes met, and the love they shared was a beacon of light in the shadowed recess of the temple. Isis knew that this moment, fleeting as it was, would offer them both the chance to speak of matters that transcended life and death. With a poignancy born of circumstance, Isis and Osiris conversed about the destiny that lay ahead. Osiris spoke with the wisdom and tranquility of one who had glimpsed the eternal. He shared insights into the cosmic balance they were a part of, and offered counsel on the nurturing of their son, Horus. As Isis listened, she felt the gentle weight of her responsibilities as both a mother and a guardian of life and magic. Each word exchanged was a testament to their enduring love and shared purpose, solidifying the foundation upon which Horus's future and the fate of Egypt would rest. Yet, the moment was to be short-lived. The temporary nature of Osiris's return soon laid bare. The magic that bound him to life weakened, and like the receding tide, he began to slip back into the realm of the dead. Isis, prepared for this inevitability, was filled not with despair, but with a sense of profound peace. Their brief reunion had reinforced her resolve, provided clarity, and cemented her determination to shield Horus from the malevolent forces that threatened him. It was a pivot on which the future would hinge. Before departing once more into the eternal sands, Osiris imparted crucial instructions to Isis. He spoke of the impending trials their son would face, and emphasized the necessity of protection and guidance. Osiris's words were imbued with the gravity of his experiences, and the foresight that came with his role as god of the afterlife. His final request was an assurance that Horus, the one destined to restore order, would be carefully prepared to face the trials ahead. With a solemn yet gentle farewell, Osiris faded, leaving Isis with a heart full of both memory and purpose. The shadows lengthened in the temple as Isis remained, absorbing the gravity of the encounter. Her mission was now clear, her path illuminated by the wisdom shared from Osiris. With meticulous care, she gathered the remnants of the ritual, ashes of magic still lingering in the air as silent witnesses to what had transpired. As she prepared to leave, her thoughts turned to Horus, her beloved son. The temple, now quiet, seemed to promise sanctuary and strength for the unfolding journey. And so, with the echoes of a love that transcended mortality and a commitment resolute as the unyielding desert sands, Isis stepped forth from the temple, into the night, the torchlight flickering softly behind her. Her heart was set upon the protection of Horus, upon the continuity of the balance she so sought to restore, and with the patience and power that were her hallmarks, she would guide the future of Egypt itself. In the calm after her bittersweet reunion with Osiris, Isis knew that the safety of her son, Horus, was paramount. The vast expanse of the Egyptian landscape whispered secrets of caution, urging her to protect the child from his treacherous uncle, Set. With unwavering dedication, Isis took Horus into hiding, embracing the protective shadows of the lush Nile Delta grove. This hidden paradise, with its soft greens and warm golds under a twilight sky, became a sanctuary for the young deity and his nurturing mother. Here, among the whispering palm fronds and twinkling stars, Isis created a refuge far removed from Set's malicious gaze. The bond between Isis and Horus blossomed within this sheltered embrace. Under her watchful eye he grew, both in stature and spirit, nurtured by tales of courage and wisdom passed down through generations. Each story woven with care not only informed him about his father's noble legacy, but also kindled in him a yearning to fulfill his destiny. Horus listened intently as Isis shared tales of valor and justice, each word a thread in the tapestry of his future kingly virtues. This bond was not merely of mother and son. It was a union of teacher and apprentice, of destiny and duty. As the sun cast its golden light across the grove, Isis carefully chose moments to reveal the truth of Horus's lineage. With grace and calm, she recounted the tale of Osiris's demise at the hands of Set, sparing none of the sorrow but weaving in hope and resilience. Horus, youthful but resolute, absorbed these truths like fertile soil drinking in the nourishing floods of the Nile. The destiny set before him was daunting, a path untrodden and perilous, yet the spirit of Osiris seemed to echo within him, filling him with an unwavering resolve. Guided by Isis's wisdom, Horus discovered allies among the creatures of their verdant refuge. Birds carried messages back and forth, crocodiles, once feared, now guarded the hidden pathways, and even the reeds themselves whispered secrets to those who would listen. These loyal companions formed a network of protection, a living barrier to shield Horus and aid in his development. Each encounter with these creatures was an opportunity for Horus to learn the nuances of loyalty and bravery, the importance of allies in the face of adversity. Yet danger was never far. The shadows cast by Set's influence reached even the most serene corners of Egypt, and it was in these moments that Isis's magic proved indispensable. When fierce storms threatened to reveal their sanctuary, she called upon ancient spells, crafting illusions that danced like mirages across the water's surface, effectively cloaking them from unfriendly eyes. Her magic wrapped around Horus like an impenetrable cocoon, nesting him within layers of history and divine protection. Under her careful tutelage and ceaseless protection, Horus grew into a figure of formidable promise. His frame grew tall and strong, his gaze sharp with determination, and his spirit untamed by fear. Isis watched with a heart both proud and aching, knowing that each day brought him closer to the destiny he was born to claim. As Horus matured, the whispers of past sages and the silent guidance of Osiris echoed within him, molding a leader destined to restore what had been broken. Together, they prepared for the inevitable confrontation that awaited Horus, a future entwined with his duty to avenge his father's death and restore justice. As twilight faded into night, the grove rested under a sky dusted with stars, each one a tiny beacon of hope in the vast canvas of destiny. Within this serene tapestry, beneath the protective magic of Isis, Horus was not just sheltered. He was forged anew, ready to face the trials that lay ahead. In the growing shadows of the Egyptian dusk, Set's dark ambitions loomed ever closer. Aware of Horus's survival, Set's restless scheming kindled new fires of jealousy and dread. His instinct, bred from destructive envy, pushed him to extinguish his nephew, the destined avenger of his father, Osiris. Determined to thwart Horus's rise, Set cast a sinister web of cunning traps and lethal plots. Each failed attempt to snuff out the light of Horus emboldened Set's fury, yet none could pierce the protective veils expertly crafted by Isis. Isis, ever vigilant, countered Set's nefarious designs with mystical foresight and her unyielding resolve. Her love for Horus, pure and tireless, fortified her spirit against the relentless trials thrust upon her by Set. Day by day, Isis wove layers of protection with ancient incantations and enchantments, shields invisible to mortal eyes but impenetrable to the malevolent force of her brother-in-law. She would not rest, for the well-being of Horus was intertwined with the fate of Egypt itself. However, the unceasing battle took its toll on Isis. The weight of constant vigilance etched shadows beneath her eyes. Her heart, though resolute, knew moments of vulnerability as exhaustion from the continuous exertion of her magical prowess clawed at her strength. This strain, however, only deepened her resolve. As the days passed, these signs of her fatigue whispered of the silent battles she waged to keep Horus safe. Despite her weariness, Isis's spirit remained unbroken, her heart fueled by maternal love and destiny's call. In the quiet depths of her solitude, Isis often contemplated the path upon which she had embarked. Visions of Osiris, gone but never lost, rekindled her determination. She recalled promises whispered between them of a future safeguarded for Horus, whom they cherished above all. Her reflections reminded her of the purpose that guided her every action, the restoration of harmony and balance, a mission far greater than her individual struggle. Thus, each spell woven was an emblem of her unwavering dedication to the cause. In times of dire need, when the burden of constant threat weighed heavily, Isis sought counsel from other gods. Their guidance offered her the strength to maintain her sacred watch over Horus. Thoth, the venerable god of wisdom, imparted secrets of protection drawn from the ancient cosmic order. The sun god Ra bestowed blessings of light to repulse Set's shadows. Through their shared wisdom, Isis found renewed courage to continue her divine guardianship with unwavering devotion. Yet, even the mightiest hearts can face moments of doubt. It was during one such moment, when the shadows before dawn stretched long and dark, that Isis found herself questioning her endless struggle. Could her magic fend off the relentless rage of Set? Would Horus grow to fulfill the destiny entrusted to him? These questions stirred within her a storm of uncertainty. But like the sun heralding the dawn, a revelation burst through her hesitations. Her determination rekindled, fierce and bright, banished her doubts into the ether. With this rejuvenated spirit, Isis strengthened the magical defenses around Horus. Her enchantments became ever more complex and vigorous, intertwined with potent symbols and ancient hieroglyphs. Runes, aglow with protective energy, encircled Horus with an ethereal barrier at once gentle and formidable. Isis's magic danced in the air, vibrant with the resolve she had grasped anew. Her love, her most powerful shield, wrapped Horus from harm, promising sanctuary amid the turmoil. As the sky above transformed with the arrival of dawn, a soft luminescence spread over the desert shrine where Isis stood. The horizon stretched far, a testament to the resilience and infinite reach of her protective mantle. The winds, gentle and sweet, carried whispers of the battles yet to come, and the promise of triumph they held. With one final incantation, Isis sealed her vows in the fertile sands beneath her, nurturing the seed of future victory as Horus grew steadily toward his fate. In these quiet, contemplative moments, The unyielding spirit of Isis shone most brilliantly, a beacon of hope against the threat of darkness. Her undying love for her son Horus, her undeterred commitment to restoration, and the intricate magic she wielded woven tightly together, set the stage for a destiny that dawned bright and untarnished. One could sense the inevitable march toward the resolution of Set's tyranny, the next chapter in the great mythos of gods and mortals. In the sacred training ground amidst the Nile reeds, Horus stood, his eyes reflecting the clarity of the sky above. It was here, enveloped by the steady whisper of the reeds and the gentle ebb of the river, that Horus began to truly understand the power and responsibility he held within. His mother Isis stood beside him, her presence as steady as the stones that lined the riverbank. She watched with quiet pride as he embraced the gifts of his divine heritage, acknowledging the gravity of his future role. Horus's journey of comprehension was not just of recognizing his strength, but also the weight of the legacy he was bound to uphold. Isis, with her magical prowess and unyielding maternal instinct, took upon herself the duty of training Horus in the use of his divine abilities. Each day, the sanctuary of the oasis became a stage for lessons in resilience and tactical wisdom. The air shimmered with the energy of their combined focus, as Isis imparted ancient knowledge through spells and stories of times long past. With every incantation and gesture taught, Horus grew not only in skill but in understanding the essence of his powers. It was within the glow of the afternoon sun, amidst electrifying blues and fiery reds of energy swirling around him, that Horus learned the fine balance between strength and control. As mother and son grew closer through these moments of shared trial and triumph, their bond deepened immeasurably. The depth of Isis's love and her unwavering faith in Horus bolstered his spirit, imbuing him with a determination as bright as the midday sun. The trials they faced together solidified a connection that transcended the worldly, echoing with the sacred promise of family and destiny. With each challenge overcome, Horus felt a profound sense of belonging, his heart echoing with the rhythms of generations past. Visions of his father, Osiris, also cast their guiding light upon Horus's path. In his dreams and moments of reflection, Osiris appeared, offering wisdom from the domain of the afterlife. His presence was felt as a gentle surge of encouragement and insight, reminding Horus of the noble lineage he was destined to honor. These spectral encounters served not only as guidance but as silent reverence, a tribute to Osiris's enduring influence in the life of his son. With each vision, Horus absorbed lessons that stitched together his past, present, and future, weaving a tapestry of his destiny. Reflecting on past encounters and the guidance of both Isis and Osiris, Horus began to craft strategies for future challenges. He diligently pieced together lessons learned from previous brushes with Set's ploys and the protective measures of his mother. Each plan forged in contemplation was like a weapon shaped by the fires of experience and wisdom. Horus's resolve to correct past oversights and advance with calculated readiness became a steadfast beacon guiding his path. Strategy, he realized, was as much about anticipation as it was about action. The moment finally arrived when Isis, with a mixture of pride and poignant understanding, recognized that Horus was ready. Watching him, she saw not just her son, but the embodiment of a hope she had nurtured through all the trials and tenacious battles. Her heart swelled with a bittersweet joy as she acknowledged his preparedness. Horus stood before her, not only as a child she had fiercely protected, but as a young god poised to fulfill his destiny with courage and wisdom inherited from both his parents. With newfound strength and a heart inspired by the enduring spirit of Isis, Horus resolved to confront Set. The path of vengeance was no longer driven by the raw pain of loss, but the deep-seated understanding of justice and balance that had been cultivated within him. Horus was invigorated by his mother's strength and guided by the silent echoes of his father's wisdom. The anticipation of the impending confrontation with Set stirred within him, but Horus was calm, resolute in the knowledge that he was as prepared as he could ever be. And so, beneath the bright, clear sky that stretched endlessly across the sacred training ground, Horus embraced his role as the protector of order, ready to reclaim his father's legacy. Isis stood by, her presence a testament to her love, her wisdom the foundation upon which Horus's journey was built. His resolve set the stage for the confrontation that would determine the fate of the realms. Together their hopes, fears, and dreams resonated through the essence of the Nile, marking the inevitable rise of Horus towards destiny. In the vast expanse of the Egyptian desert, where the horizon seemed to stretch to infinity, Horus found himself standing firm and resolute. The air around him shimmered with the heat of the sun, which cast sharp shadows across the sand. As he gazed into the distance, his thoughts were clear and his heart was steady, holding on to the legacy of his father, Osiris, and the justice he set out to achieve. It was here, in this expansive battleground of light and shadow, that Horus would confront his uncle, Set, whose treachery had long cast a veil of darkness over their world. Set emerged from the depths of the desert, his figure stark against the bright azure sky. The moment Horus had prepared for was upon him. The two adversaries stood facing each other, their intent clear as the sun that beat down upon them. In this duel of divine power, Horus, fueled by the righteous desire to restore balance, channeled the strength imparted by his mother, Isis, and the guiding whispers of Osiris. This was not just a battle of might, but a test of their wills and legacies. While Horus readied himself with divine focus, Isis watched from afar, her magical prowess poised to lend support. With her eyes closed, she whispered ancient incantations, her voice mingling with the winds that swept over the sands. Her spells formed a protective barrier around Horus, a steady flow of energy intended to bolster his strength and enhance his natural abilities. As the son of Osiris, Horus was destined for greatness, yet it was the unwavering support of Isis that underpinned his courage. The desert landscape transformed under their conflict, turned into a stage for the celestial duel. The elements themselves seemed to respond to their struggle, swirling sandstorms accompanied by flashes of light, creating an epic spectacle of battling forces. In the heart of this confrontation, Set revealed his many tricks and deceptions, his cunning nature manifesting in every move. He sought to gain the upper hand through deceit, weaving illusions to mislead and confuse Horus in the melee. Yet as Set's trickery nearly overwhelmed him, Horus faltered. In a critical moment of near defeat, he felt the reassuring touch of his mother's magic wash over him, infusing him with renewed vigor. It was a reminder of the strength he held, not merely from his own training, but from the lineage of resilience and courage he inherited. This magical connection was a tether, drawing him back from the brink of despair and igniting his fighting spirit once more. With newfound determination, Horus rose from the sand, shaking off the weight of Set's oppressive tactics. The light within him seemed to grow brighter with each step he took toward his formidable opponent. Set, sensing this resurgence, pressed his attack harder, but Horus, buoyed by Isis's support, pressed on. He drew upon the lessons he had learned from past skirmishes, each teaching a vital strategy or weakness to exploit. This battle was not just a fight, it was a culmination of everything Horus had prepared for. The clash between Horus and Set continued, reaching a fever pitch. Light and shadow danced across the sands, each new charge echoing the eternal struggle between order and chaos. The power that flowed through Horus and the protective magic of Isis wove together seamlessly, forming a tapestry of hope and perseverance that refused to be undone. As the combat raged on, Horus's might bore testimony to the legacy he was born to uphold. And so, as the desert sun dipped ever so slightly, casting a golden hue across the embattled land, Horus proved himself once more. Each setback he encountered became a stepping stone, each trick of Set a lesson absorbed, until finally it was Horus who began to push back the encroaching darkness. Through his tenacity and unwavering belief, fueled by the legacy of his father and the unyielding support of his mother, he stood as a beacon of justice amidst the swirling tempest of the battlefield, amidst the sprawling sands and ancient ruins of the desert. The battle between Horus and Set raged on, embodying the age-old clash between light and darkness. Horus, fueled by the justice and legacy bequeathed to him, faced Set with unmatched courage. However, Set's sly deceit and the weight of impending defeat tested Horus's strength and resolve. As Horus faltered, it was Isis who stepped forth, her presence a beacon of ancient power and protection. The air shimmered as she invoked her divine magic, summoning the elements in a grand symphony of force and compassion. At this critical juncture, Isis's intervention became the turning point. Her voice, imbued with incantations passed down through the eons, called forth the energies of the earth and sky. The very sands trembled as a vibrant pulse of magic surged forth, enveloping the battlefield with a palpable aura. Set, overwhelmed by this unexpected surge of strength, felt the depth of Isis's power as never before. The desert itself seemed to come alive, resonating with the mystical dimensions her magic unveiled. The vivid glow of golden amber and fiery reds filled the air, painting a mesmerizing tapestry as ancient obelisks stood steadfast amid swirling energy waves. As the battle took on this mystical facet, Isis's power reignited Horus's spirit and determination. With each incantation, the weight upon his shoulders lightened, replaced by the sense of his mother's enduring love and unwavering support. Inspired by her fortitude, Horus drew upon reserves of inner strength he had yet to fully comprehend. This newfound resolve coursed through him like a blazing river, fanning his courage and sharpening his senses against Set's onslaught. To Set, once confident in his ability to overpower, it became clear that Horus's ascent was inevitable. Empowered by Isis's magic, he gained the upper hand, his movements swift and deliberate. Horus began to maneuver with the fluidity and presence of Osiris, a testament to the legacy he bore. The celestial dance between Horus and Set became a testament to the enduring battle between order and chaos, with each strike of Horus's divine staff countering Set's sinister machinations. With Isis's support wrapping him in an ethereal embrace of magic and guidance, Horus felt no longer alone in his quest. The bond of mother and son, forged in the fires of tribulation and love, infused Horus's very being with the conviction needed to continue the fight. Together, they were an embodiment of the timeless resilience of family, illuminating the path to justice and harmony over adversity. The clash neared its turning point as Horus, with Isis at his side, pressed on with renewed fervor. Set's strength waned beneath the combined might of Horus's hand and Isis's elemental mastery. Nature itself seemed to rejoice in this symphony of rebirth and transformation, a reflection of the motifs that permeated their struggle. Together, mother and son edged closer to the culmination of their efforts, guiding the mythic struggle towards a climax that would shape destinies. As the day's light dimmed into shades of dusk, what once was a solitary battle had transformed into a communal fight aided by unseen forces, conjured by Isis's will and compassion. Against the backdrop of ancient ruins, the atmosphere pulsed with a magical aura, weaving the threads of past and present, divine and mortal, into the vibrant tapestry of their mythic tale. The ancient legacy of Isis, as guardian of life and magic, manifested in her pivotal moment, illuminating the path towards victory and renewal. Under the timeless expanse of the Egyptian desert, Horus stood resolute, drawing strength from the ancient sands beneath his feet, and the lineage that coursed through his veins. The echoes of his father's voice, Osiris, and the indomitable spirit of his mother, Isis, resonated within, awakening a hidden reserve of fortitude. This strength was more than mere power. It was the legacy of justice, nurtured with love, destined to bring balance to a world thrown into chaos by Set's treachery. In the heart of this pivotal clash, Horus found himself staring into the fiery eyes of Set, where shadows danced with malice. Fueled by renewed vigor and the whispers of ancient wisdom, Horus challenged Set one final time. As the sun cast elongated shadows on the ground, the young god's resolve illuminated the path ahead. Encouraged by the potent magic his mother had conjured, Horus embraced the courage that surged within, the courage of those who have stood before him. Isis stood nearby, witnessing the unfolding battle with unwavering pride etched upon her serene face. Her protective enchantments wrapped around Horus like a guardian's embrace, a testament to her enduring strength. She observed each movement with the attentive gaze of a mother cradling her child's first steps into destiny, each strike and parry reflecting the trials and lessons imparted throughout his youth. The transformation of Horus from a fragile child to a formidable avenger played vividly before her eyes. Set, ever the embodiment of destruction and deceit, fought with relentless tenacity. Yet it was Horus's strategic mind that marked a turning point, exploiting Set's arrogance and unraveling the guile woven into his dark strategy. Horus's cunning mirrored his father's wisdom, and each maneuver was punctuated by the understanding that this was more than a physical combat. It was a collision of ideals, where justice sought its rightful place. With the crushing defeat of Set, Horus stood victorious, not only in strength but in the purity of his purpose. The scales of Ma'at, once tipped by Set's betrayal, now sat balanced, echoing the ancient principles of rightness and order. Horus's victory was a testament to his resolve, and the virtues instilled by his parents, a divine reflection that inspired reverence among mortals and gods alike. With justice restored, the adulation of the gods enveloped the battlefield. Acknowledging Horus's rightful position as the true heir, they celebrated this triumph of light over darkness. The harmony of the cosmos was once again intact, a melodious tone carried by the wind over the expanse of the Egyptian sands. This acknowledgement was not merely ceremonial, it was an assurance of continuity, a reaffirmation of divine principles that guided the world. As the sun began its descent, painting the desert in hues of fiery oranges and deep reds, Isis approached her son. In the quiet lull that followed, mother and son shared a profound moment of relief and triumph. Their eyes met, and in that silent exchange, passed the bond of shared struggles and victories. From Isis's gaze flowed a deep-seated pride, an affirmation of Horus's journey and the future he would shape. Together, they stood, framed against the backdrop of a setting sun, the desert horizon unfurling before them in infinite possibility. Here, on the summit of a windswept dune, was not just the conclusion of a battle but the beginning of an era marked by renewal and hope. The gentle breeze carried whispers of promises, the legacy of Osiris, the enduring love of Isis, and the burgeoning reign of Horus would bless the land. Thus, with this triumphant conclusion, they prepared to return to their people, to a land awaiting rejuvenation under the wise guidance of its new ruler, and the timeless guardianship of Isis. Justice had prevailed, and for now, peace cradled the land of ancient Egypt. In the wake of Set's defeat, the Egyptian landscape glistened with the promise of renewal, its vast expanse embracing the golden hour of twilight. Horus, now acclaimed as the rightful ruler, stood poised at the helm of a new era. Under the watchful eye of Isis, his leadership drew inspiration from the wisdom she so graciously imparted. Horus ascended to the throne, his presence radiating the strength and courage inherited from his lineage. Guided by Isis's teachings, he embarked on a mission to restore the land once ravaged by conflict. As Horus's reign unfurled, the land of Egypt began to flourish. Each day saw new life returning to the Nile's fertile banks, rejuvenated by the just leadership of Horus. Fields once barren and dry now burst forth with rich harvests, and the people rejoiced as prosperity spread across the kingdom. The waters of the Nile, flowing with renewed vigor, reflected the harmony restored by Horus's hand. Under this newly established order, the gods themselves looked down with favor, appreciating the balance now reinstated among mortals. Within the realm of gods and mortals, Isis fulfilled her profound inner need. Her journey to restore harmony and balance had finally reached fruition. Osiris, though his presence was now in the afterlife realms, was returned to honor in memory and celebration. His legacy lived on not only through Horus's reign, but through the reverence and respect that endured in the hearts of all. The victory over Set had not only rectified past wrongs, but it also paved a path toward peace, a tribute to both Osiris and Isis's perseverance. In the quiet moments that followed the clamor of battle, the gods themselves took a moment to recognize Isis's unyielding role in these events. Her wisdom and strength, vital to Horus's victory and the rebirth of Egypt, shone like a beacon among the divine. As appreciation and gratitude cascaded from both heavens and earth below, Isis stood with grace, accepting the acknowledgement of her efforts. Her actions had been crucial to the preservation of life and order, marking her as an eternal guardian under the celestial sky. Amidst this celebration of restoration, the bonds within Isis's family glowed brightly. Her loyalty and love for Horus and the enduring memory of Osiris bound them in an unbreakable tapestry of devotion. The passage of trials and triumphs had only served to strengthen these ties, transcending the boundaries of life and death. With Horus now firmly seated in his destined role, the bonds of family and loyalty woven by Isis's hand spoke of an enduring strength that only love could sustain. Thus, life and magic continued to blossom under the guardianship of Isis and Horus. The lessons learned and the legacy left by the challenges faced ensured that magic remained a vibrant force weaving throughout the kingdom. Isis's nurturing care helped the people of Egypt embrace this new dawn, a pledge to maintain the harmony she had long strived for. Rivers glistened with zeal, the fields thrived with abundance, and the very air seemed imbued with the enchantment of new beginnings. As the sun dipped lower in its timeless journey, painting the land with hues of gold, the assurance of peace lay cradled within the folds of the kingdom. Isis and Horus, standing side by side, gazed upon the harmony they had sculpted together. It was a time not only to celebrate what was won, but to nurture the promises of what was yet to come. The restoration they had achieved together set the stage for a future filled with hope, unity, and an enduring legacy rooted in the wisdom of ages. As the first rays of dawn crested the horizon, casting a gentle glow over the timeless pyramids, the legacy of Isis and her magical journey seemed etched into the very fabric of ancient Egypt. Her life had been a testament to the power of resilience and boundless maternal love, a journey that has inspired countless generations. Through the myths of Isis, humanity learns the profound lessons of courage and perseverance, traits that can transform the course of destiny even in the face of insurmountable odds. Isis's role as a guardian of her family and her people was not only marked by her mastery of magic, but also by her unfaltering compassion. Her determination to bring Osiris back to life and protect Horus was driven by an inner need to restore harmony to a world disrupted by chaos. She embodied the essence of unwavering devotion, showcasing how love combined with wisdom could overcome even the darkest of trials. Her wisdom had a remarkable influence in shaping ancient traditions and beliefs, seeping into every corner of life. It guided the pharaohs who reigned over Egypt, offering solace and strength to those who faced adversity. Generations have revered her name, building temples in her honor, where monks and followers alike drew courage from her story. Through the centuries, the stories of her trials and triumphs have served as a moral compass and a source of inspiration, reinforcing the notion that virtue and compassion hold the keys to true greatness. The myths of ancient Egypt have long served as bridges to deeper truths, connecting mortals with the divine. Within these stories, Isis stands as a symbol of resilience, a beacon that offers guidance and protection across the ages. Her story encourages each generation to draw strength from ancestral wisdom and to find comfort in the enduring presence of benevolent figures through times of uncertainty. The tale of Isis underscores the idea that myths are not mere stories, but conveyors of ancient wisdom, illuminating the path forward for those willing to listen. The timeless nature of Isis's guidance and protection was not limited to her family, but extended to all who invoked her name. Known for her willingness to aid those in need, she was venerated as a deity capable of steering humanity toward balance and prosperity. Her legacy lives on in the rituals and festivals celebrated in her honor, where the magic of transformation and rebirth is both remembered and revered. As guardian of life and magic, Isis ensured that the cyclical nature of life was respected and cherished, perpetuating an eternal connection between heaven and earth. As the new dawn painted the skies in soft pinks and gentle oranges, it was clear how the story of Isis and Horus continued to inspire. From the way Horus ascended to the throne to the flourishing state of Egypt under his leadership, the echoes of their victories and struggles resounded throughout the ages. Their journey assured mortals that the embrace of family, coupled with unwavering resolve, could conquer even the fiercest tempest. In their triumph, we find the heart of human resilience and the continual pursuit of justice and harmony. The legacy of Isis resonates within the heart of Egypt, pulsing through its land and culture, reminding humanity of the strength found within unity and courage. Her story is far more than a myth. It is an eternal truth that encompasses new beginnings, the fulfillment of one's destiny, and the ceaseless nurturing spirit that guides us toward a better world. As the melodic chants of the Nile's waters softly whisper her name, we sense a peace that transcends time, an enduring satisfaction that her life's journey remains undiminished in its relevance and vitality. With this enduring wisdom enveloping the earth and reaching out to the skies, the listener is left with a sense of balance, knowing that the divine watchful eye of Isis will forever guide and protect. Her story does not conclude here, for in every whisper of the wind and in every gleam of the morning sun, her legacy remains constant, like a timeless river flowing through the sands of time, nurturing life and spreading light. The lasting lessons of her journey reminds us that the divine wisdom of the ancient myths holds the power to illuminate modern life. It rests upon us to look upon these stories not merely as legends frozen in time, but as living teachings that kindle hope, encourage unity, and inspire the enduring journey toward a harmonious existence.